The flickering glow of the lantern barely pushed back the heavy darkness that clung to the royal chamber. Empress Mei Ling lay awake, her heart hammering against her ribs. Two red eyes gleamed in the shadows, motionless, watching. She wanted to scream, but her voice was trapped in her throat. The air had grown thick, suffocating, like invisible hands pressing against her chest. The presence slithered closer, the very space around her warping, twisting in ways her mind couldn't comprehend. And then, a whisper, "You think you have one?" The voice was Shen's, but deeper now. The shadows in the room rippled like black water, and for a brief moment, she saw him. Not the man he once was, but the monstrosity he had become. His face was hollowed, stretched unnaturally, his grin too wide, his fingers lengthened into clawed appendages. Mei Ling clutched her jade pendant, the same one that had driven Shen away before. It burned against her skin, as if reacting to the evil before her. She forced herself to whisper an ancient prayer, the same one her ancestors had used to ward off spirits. The shadows shuddered. The red eyes blinked once, twice before vanishing. The suffocating presence lifted. The cold dissipated, but Mei Ling knew he was not gone. By dawn, the entire palace felt it. A thick, unnatural fog had settled over the kingdom, swallowing the city in an eerie twilight. The once bustling streets of Zhao Lian were silent. Birds refused to chirp, dogs whined in their pens, and the people whispered of a terrible omen. The king did not sleep that night. Wei Zhong stood on the palace balcony, watching the mist coil around his kingdom like a living thing. It slithered through alleys, curled around rooftops, whispered in tongues only the wind could understand. Something was coming. Something had never left. At noon, the first death occurred. A guard was found at the gates of the palace, his body twisted unnaturally, his eyes missing. His mouth frozen in a silent scream. No signs of struggle, no blood, just the eerie stench of decay that did not belong to the living. Then, the second death. A maid collapsed in the halls, clutching her throat, gasping for air as unseen fingers strangled the life from her body. The moment she died, the temperature in the room dropped, and the shadows along the walls twisted, as if writhing in satisfaction. The king ordered a full lockdown of the palace. No one was to enter, no one was to leave, but it didn't matter. The evil was already inside. That evening, royal priest, an old, wise monk named Master Li Bao, was summoned. His eyes held the weight of ancient knowledge, and his presence alone seemed to bring a small flicker of hope. In the grand hall, he listened to the queen's trembling words. He did not interrupt, did not flinch when she spoke of the red eyes in the dark. Instead, he lit a bundle of incense, watching the smoke twist unnaturally in the still air. Then, he whispered, "He is bound to this place." The king and queen exchanged a wary glance. Shen's body is gone, but his spirit lingers. He made a pact with something far older than this world. His death did not free you. It only unleashed something worse. The candles flickered violently. A gust of cold wind whispered through the chamber, though all doors remained shut. The priest closed his eyes, his voice barely above a whisper. He is not alone anymore. A hush fell over the room. A second entity had entered their world. That night, the palace became a prison of horrors. The whispers multiplied, slipping through the walls, creeping into the ears of the sleeping servants, twisting into their dreams. Some woke up screaming, their hands clawing at their own faces. Others did not wake up at all. The statues in the palace gardens cracked and bled. A guard, patrolling the eastern halls, saw something. Standing at the end of the corridor, he raised his lantern, heart pounding. The figure was tall, draped in a tattered black robe, its face hidden beneath a hood. Its arms were too long, the fingers dragging against the stone floor. The guard took a step back, but the thing took a step forward. And then it moved, not walking, not running. It shifted, like a blur, a flicker, a ripple in space itself. It was in front of him in a heartbeat. The guard tried to scream, but his mouth vanished. His lips were sewn shut by unseen hands, his eyes wide with sheer, indescribable terror. His body was found at dawn. By the third day, the kingdom was drowning in fear. The people sensed it, the unseen force looming over them like a dark cloud. Farmers found their crops rotting overnight. Children spoke of shadows moving against the walls, whispering their names. The priest knew there was only one way to stop it. They had to find Shen's soul and destroy it. Under the cover of night, the king, the queen, the priest, and a handful of trusted warriors ventured into the forbidden chambers beneath the palace. There, behind a sealed stone door covered in ancient warnings, they found it. A coffin, bound in iron chains, covered in talismans, whispering with unholy energy. The priest stepped forward, his hands trembling. He could feel it inside. Shen, or rather, what was left of him. The warriors raised their weapons, prepared for the worst. The priest began the ritual, chanting in the oldest tongue, a language that had not been spoken for centuries. The air grew heavy, the walls groaned, and then the chains snapped. The coffin burst open, and Shen rose. His face was no longer human. His body was a writhing mass of shadows, his eyes nothing but burning voids. His mouth stretched into an endless abyss, and from within, 1,000 voices screamed in agony. The warriors charged, but they were pulled into the darkness. Their bodies twisting, breaking, vanishing. The priest screamed for the king to finish the ritual. The queen, clutching her jade pendant, stepped forward. She threw the necklace onto Shen's writhing form, and the moment it touched him, the air ignited with golden fire. Shen shrieked. The flames consumed him, burning away the shadows, the whispers, the nightmare. And then, silence. The priest collapsed. The warriors were gone, and Shen was no more. By sunrise, the fog lifted. The shadows in the palace vanished. The dead remained dead. And peace returned. But as the king and queen stood upon the balcony, looking over their land, Mei Ling felt it again. A whisper, soft, distant, but still there. A promise. I will return. And far beneath the palace, in the ruins of the forbidden chamber, two red eyes gleamed.